Happy Monday, everyone. Time for another live commentary. Today's bout is from the CIP 2022 World Cup Tournament, round of 32, and it features on the left Alex Tofalides of Cyprus and on the right Enzo Lefort of France. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, perfect. So, in several years of running this channel, it's kind of unfortunate that I haven't yet had a chance to talk about Alex Tofalides of Cyprus. He, I believe, trained in the UK. I think he still actually trains in the UK, and he represented the UK until like 2016. Lefort, on the other hand, as most people watching this channel will probably know, I'd say, pretty safe to say, he's the best French men's foilist right now. Definitely quite a bit higher ranked than Alex. These two have actually started fencing internationally around the same time. I think they both started in the 2008-9 season. And since that time, Enzo's been ranked pretty consistently higher than Alex. These two have also fenced quite a few times since then, and Enzo has come out on top in almost all of them. I think Alex took a pool bout off of Lefort at one point. However, this bout will actually be one of the closest ones they've ever fenced, and I won't spoil the result or the final score. But yeah, this should be a pretty interesting matchup, especially since these two have seen each other. I think we'll see a lot of maybe a bit more mind games. Now, Alex, despite the fact that I'm seen him fencing in quite a few tournaments, and I've watched quite a few of his bouts, not that much actually stands out to me in terms of what his fencing looks like. I know he's pretty quick. I've seen him do a couple of pretty devastating looking fast marching attacks and a couple of counterattacks. I know he fenced Alexander Chupinich in the finals of the European qualifier for Tokyo. So this should be pretty interesting how these two stack up against each other. All right, there's a referee, Florian Jorge. So we know the calls are going to be good with him at the helm. There's the test. Okay. I like that that mask design that Tofalides has, the Cyprus flag. It's pretty cool. It blends in nicely with the white of the fencing uniform. Uh-oh, I hope there's not a problem with the... Is there a problem with something? They're testing again? Okay. Also, before we get into this, I know it's been a bit of a pain for some of these CIP bouts, but the quality is 480p. There's something I can do about that. Alright, fast marching attack by Tofalides right off the bat. Goes off target, though. And yeah, this is pretty characteristic of what I've seen of him before. He likes to do this very fast thing right off the line. Kind of like Lefort's teammate Jeremy Cadeau used to do. That time it's a Remises for Tofalides. Very nice. Lefort maybe could have opened the distance a little more to deliver that riposte. They're looking for a stop hit into a pair riposte, but can't quite find the right line as Tofalides rushes past him on the outside. So Tofalides using this high speed to great effect early on. There's an attack off the line. I saw the referee's hand signal was attack from the left. I'm not sure if it was actually two attacks or if he was actually making a call about the right of way there. Another fast attack. This time it's a pair riposte for Lefort. Did kind of look like Tofalides was beating there, but I think that was pretty convincingly on Lefort's guard. So more likely to be his riposte. Another fast running attack! Wow, Lefort trying to chase him after he passes. Probably going to be a halt for that, honestly, before Lefort can actually get that riposte going. That wasn't really one tempo. Attack stops, and yeah, attack from the right is off target that time. So now Tofalides kind of holding back his outright aggression right off the line. Yeah, he's going a bit slower off the line now, possibly to do something compound and maybe try and get around Lefort's pair riposte. But Lefort still was able to pick that one up and go off target. Attack from the left, no, is the referee's call, and counterattack from the right is off target. I do agree, Lefort did get off the line a little bit later there than Tofalides. They're both going about the same speed, honestly, but Lefort started a tad later. Another attempted attack off the line by Tofalides, forestalled this time by Lefort stepping back. Now Lefort can march. Let's see what Tofalides is going to do. Now, I know he likes to counterattack in this situation. There it is, and gets one light. Wow. Lefort was going slowly enough there that I assumed he would just find a finish, but it's kind of surprising he didn't. Tofalides gets the march off the line, goes off target though. Honestly, I kind of prefer the faster march that he was doing earlier in the bout. It looks like he's going a bit slower now, just maybe he's afraid of what Lefort might do to him on defense, but Honestly, the super fast withheld stuff was working very well. I'm kind of confused as to why he decided to change it. Especially if Lefort is going to let him get the march off the line, why not just accelerate into something super, super fast? On the other hand, I think going the same tempo for every single touch might be a little bit too predictable. Oh, yeah. Call his parry post again. Lefort's very good at keeping his blade action small there and just moving enough to pick up the parry, but not so much that if Tofalides goes fast, he can't still land the riposte. That time, Lefort finds an off-target as Tofalides tries to counterattack. It's probably a more expected situation when that happens, especially considering how slow Lefort was marching that time. Oh, he finds the riposte in preen. That is beautiful. Wow. So yeah, like I said before, Tofalides going a little bit slower, trying to collapse distance on Lefort, and basically kind of running into Lefort's ripostes there. Ooh. I think the call might have been attack and prep. That didn't really look like a material attack there from Tofalides. Alright, another fast march. This time going a bit faster, but Lefort still has time to parry boast. Okay. So I think the reason Tofalides is deciding to go a bit slower is because Lefort will probably find the parry post anyway, so he's just making it a little bit harder for Lefort to actually land the parry post initially. Which is definitely a sound tactical idea. Lefort gets to march again. Ooh, did the ref call halt for something? I didn't see a light go off. Tofalides still having trouble finding a way through there. The call is attack off target, but yeah, it's got to find a way into distance safely at this point, honestly. Okay, attack from the right. So it looks like this attack off the line for Tofalides is getting more and more dangerous as time goes on. I think maybe trying to march off the line might be better for him, but on the other hand, Lefort can attack off the line too. He hasn't really done it yet, but he's definitely capable of it. But it's kind of tough for Tofalides because you can tell so much of his fencing revolves around that kind of fast, moving forward, blade kind of withheld, find a way into distance, and then do something, and then maybe run past if that fails. Lefort's just backing away, matching him step for step, not really giving him a chance to. And Lefort's blade action, at least so far, has been a bit superior to Tofalides'. He's been consistently able to pick up the blade. So this is a pretty tough situation. It's not insurmountable, though. Okay, attack is paired, riposte is no. Interesting. It did kind of look like Tofalides was searching there too. But I'll trust the ref's decision. And yeah, kind of similarly to Lefort missing his first real attack that he managed. If he misses these, Tofalides is absolutely going to get the remise here. Same thing here. Although the ref says that was an attack. That looked like, honestly, kind of reverse of the two situations. That time it did look like Lefort was actually parrying. Even more so than the previous one. Another long beat attack by Tofalides, but Lefort escapes this time. Finishes long, but Tofalides escapes from his lunge. Accelerates into a running attack, but misses, and Lefort gets a counterattack. That's really the first counterattack we've seen by Lefort, which, honestly, against someone running that fast with their arms so far back, the counterattack seems like a much more reliable option than the parry riposte. So it's kind of cool that Lefort actually waited that long to pull out his counterattack against this. But now Tofalides has another problem to worry about, because if he goes too withheld, trying to avoid the parry, he's going to get counterattacked. Tries to counterattack of his own. Lefort, with counter time, parry post, finishes again with that beautiful preen line. That's worked beautifully for him as a riposte. More marching from Tofalides? Okay. So this time the referee says he was searching at the same time, and it would be his beat attack as a result. Okay. It's kind of what I was seeing earlier, but the ref was calling those as Lefort's parry. Oh, yeah, that's going to be... Oh, really? Okay. So yeah, this is one of those calls that's kind of changing recently across the board at the top level of foil, where if the parry happens and Lefort doesn't riposte immediately and Tofalides starts, call is much more likely to go back to Tofalides there. This time, though, he just keeps blasting in. He doesn't even stop, even when Lefort found his blade, and just gets a remise there. So it looks like it's almost like a second intention idea, but using a remise instead of a counter post as, oh no, loses his foil and falls. It's not going to be a card or anything, but yeah, it's a little disorganized. But as I was saying, seems like Tofalides' idea is really going to be second intention here, but with the remise. Either banking on Lefort to miss, or either doing something distance-oriented to make Lefort miss. On defense, though, what's going to happen? Lefort still finds a finish with the foreflick there. Yeah, Tofalides' counterattacks have really not been cutting it against Lefort's slow march. And honestly, good on Lefort for choosing that slow march consistently. It can be a little tempting if Tofalides is trying to push the tempo so high to march at him fast in return, but... It's going to be a riposte off target, right? I didn't see the ref's hands. I assumed that's what it was. Oh, okay. This time Lefort misses that pre-riposte. To be fair, it did work several times before. That time Tofalides was collapsing quite a bit with his body. I don't know what the referee is saying that time. Oh no, someone fell over in the red strip. Okay, beat attack is parried. Yeah, I did hear two sounds. So yeah, looks like Lefort's off the line parry post is really enough to deal with Alex's... Yeah, and then there's the remise. Okay. So maybe Alex was actually using that first one to kind of help set up the second one. He lets Lefort get a... Maybe he didn't let him. He was trying to touch anyway, but Lefort gets a parry post off target. So Tofalides goes for what looks like the same thing, but throws out a different remise afterwards and gets one light with it. Tries another counterattack, but again, Lefort is able to finish. Tofalides didn't even find a light that time. And again, his counterattack just really isn't working. I would kind of like to see him switch to parry post on defense, but against Lefort, that can be really tough. Lefort's got a great hand. Bigger beats this time from Tofalides. Oh no! Can't even find something. That's unfortunate. He's rightfully disappointed at that. Ref's gonna test. Yep, his weapon works fine. He just missed. That's... okay, that was Lefort's attack. They separate though. Alex starts marching. And something happens. I couldn't tell what happened because the camera wasn't facing it. Let's see what happens to the scoreboard though. So apparently that was Tofalides'. Good to know. Not a fan of this camera work. Alright, Tofalides is going to tie his shoe. Now the break caused by this is probably going to psychologically favor Tofalides because he just did equalize. Lefort's got to maybe straighten his own shoelaces a bit. And 10-10. This has been a very fast bout, which honestly, given Alex's style, it's totally expected. He likes to push the tempo very, very high. Oh, we're going to test again. Okay. All right. Tofalides continuing to try to remise, finds another one. And again, Lefort can't find that riposte on the outside. So once again, Alex's remise is killer here. And this is despite Enzo having very good blade work of his own. I know I've said that a few times before, but it bears repeating. Remise is very hard to pull off against someone like Lefort. Attack from the left is off target. That's right. Lefort did pause there. Another attack, but this time runs into Lefort's parry riposte. Lefort made a much bigger step back that time than he did before, which I think facilitated that riposte. It's a lot harder for Tofalides to remise and close out if the distance is wider. In fact, that time I think his remise just fell short. Oh, that's probably going to be Core. No, he still gives it to parry riposte. Okay. I saw like 2 Cores happen before that riposte went through, but I'm sure Alex will take it. 12-11 now. Tries to go fast. Again, ends up past, and Lefort finds her off target with his riposte. Yeah, running past is definitely a valid defensive option if the distance gets that close, especially since Alex has so much momentum going forward. It's probably safer to try to escape past his opponent than by trying to turn around all that momentum and run away. Especially given Lefort's propensity to make, like, very beautiful step lunge actions. Turn the camera! I can't see what's going on! Apparently it was attacked from the right, but God, please, just show me the fencing. Ah, this camera. Oh, now it turns. Okay. It's a little annoying. Slower march that time. Accelerates fast. Goes withheld. Oh no! He steps off the strip and turns around. Almost certainly going to be a card for turning the back of his head. Yep. He thought he hit that. And turned around to celebrate possibly, or to check the scoreboard, but no touch. And again, we're kind of seeing here the fast withheld stuff. I'm really surprised Lefort didn't counterattack as soon as he saw that, because it worked so well that one time he's really done that. But again, the fast withheld stuff for Alex not really working as a first intention attack. It's more when he lets Lefort parry and then closes in and closes out with his remise. That tempo has really worked for him. If he just goes withheld and tries to land the first intention, he's missed more often than not, honestly, even when Lefort's not really able to find the parry. Which, again, kind of begs the question, why is Lefort just not counterattacking into that? All right, now, interesting point that the halt was for Tofalides turning the back of his head to Lefort, but he also was off the strip when the halt was called, so I'm not sure if they're going to start a meter back or exactly where they were. Tries another fast attack off the line. Again, ooh, wow. Alex's athleticism is very strong, but it's making it kind of hard for him to stay on the strip. He's getting going so fast that he can't really redirect his momentum quickly enough. Again, tries a remise, but this time, Lefort's able to find a riposte. That's a pretty crucial touch right there. Previously, Tofalides was very well able to get the remise and close out in that situation, but Lefort just gave him another step back and was able to place his tip on. That's a pretty huge momentum swing, though. So Tofalides goes back to his fast withheld first intention attack. Goes off target, though. But yeah, if Tofalides can't do that remise, I don't know what else he can really do to score reliably. This is really tough position for him. All right, Lefort gets to march. Goes again, counter time into that prime riposte. Beautiful. It's maybe the fourth time in this bout that that's worked for him. Maybe third, maybe fourth, I forget. Oh, Lefort missed the first riposte. Yep, and the remise is off target. Okay, so that remise might be working a little better now for Alex, but still, this is really dicey. Fast march. Lefort gets a stop hit off target. There's that idea I was talking about before. When Alex goes withheld, he's begging to be counterattacked there. Or stop hit, as really the same thing. So that's another dicey situation for Alex. He can't go too withheld and avoid the parry, or he's just going to get stop hit. Tries again. Oh! Ref's still going to give it to him with the riposte as he steps past. Possible for Tofalides to ask for a video review here to see if Lefort was actually the one who had passed before that riposte came out, but I don't think he's going to. That's going to be 15-12. And Lefort adds another one to his very impressive record already against Alex Tofalides. That said, I am very glad to finally be covering a bout of Alex's. As I said, it's kind of unfortunate that I haven't been able to up until now, but I'm glad I finally am. And maybe I'll cover some of his other bouts in the future. Until then, as always, stay sharp.